Dave Marsh, iGolf TV, back once again. Now in the last video, we started to count down my top 10 favourite videos from season 1 and season 2. I gave you videos from 10 to number 6. Now, straight in at number 5 today is the magic bunker shot, how to get the island on the green. Here I am in the bunker, a place a lot of amateurs don't like to be. Let me explain and give you a tip of how you can get the ball out every time. The real secret is you're not going to make contact with the ball. The first 2 islands, what we're going to do, we're going to imagine there's a ball there and just get the island on the green. Ball will pop out every time just like that. And at number 4 is one of my favourite videos. It's called Read It Right, Aim It Right, Start It Right, and you should never miss. Any donut can just practice drills all day. What it's about is making putts. Let me show you how to make putts. I'm going to look at this like I'm in a tournament. I'm going to really focus. This putt means something to me. Let's practice it that way. Whether I'm on the course or whether I'm on the practice putting green, I want to read. I want to get really good at reading greens. Players that are good at reading greens hole a lot of putts. I remember hearing about a pro that joined the seniors tour, Dr. Gil Morgan. This is probably going back 6, 7, 8 years ago. The difference for him is that he started reading the putts better. That's why he was making more of them. So number 1, let's read it right. I've looked at this putt, it's an inch outside the right. So once I've read it right, let's aim it right. Set my putter up there, an inch outside the right. Now if I go and take care of those 2 things, I'm going to make a hell of a lot of putts because I've almost done 50% of what I need to do. Next thing I'm going to do is start it right. In it goes all day long because I've done so many good things there. I've read it right, I've aimed it right, and I've started it right. There's a great chance that's going in. Watch it break, watch it break. There it goes. You know I'm going to make this, don't you? Breaker, 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 breaker. There it is. I'm going to aim it right. And now I'm just going to start it right. Bang! So, if you work really hard on these things, read it right, aim it right, start it right, you're going to go and make a lot of putts. I'm off. A new entry at number 3 and a video that we got the most requests for right the way across the board for iGolf TV. And the video is how to get backspin. We all want to munch it back. Here's how you do it. Players love to see the ball land on the green, doosh doosh, and munch. We want to see the ball coming back towards us. It's a funny thing, but because the top pros do it, it's something that you guys want to do as well. Now here's the secrets behind hitting some backspin shots. Firstly, when you come in to strike the ball, you've got to make sure that the club head makes contact with the ball and then drives into the ground. We can't afford to trap any grass or any soil between the club face and the ball. We're going to get the angle of attack coming in on the shaft of that 3-iron. That means we're going to hit down into the ball and then the club's going to continue on into the ground and get that ball firing back up the club face. My number 2 favourite video from iGolf TV seasons 1 and 2, and just missing out on the top spot, even though it's a tip that I think is going to really change the way that you chip the ball, and that is using the left arm only. Let me give you a helpful tip for improving your chipping. This time we're just going to use the left hand. Now there's a few reasons why we only use the left hand. Number 1, we want to get used to moving this left shoulder on its own back. That's what drives the backswing. Just get used to turning that back. Number 2, I love one hand only because it gives us softness. So many players, especially handicap golfers, struggle with strangling the club. One hand on the club allows us to be very soft. So there's a good reason. The next thing, rhythm. One hand allows us to be very fluid in the way we move the club back and through. It stops us being too overprotective of the swing. So just allow that really rhythmical, fluid motion to come. Another point, the back of the left hand. Poor chippers tend to break down at impact here. If we can keep this point nice and firm coming through, which is much easier to practice with just the left hand, that's going to really help the strike. The next thing is the strike. If you can strike the ball well with just one hand, when you put two hands on, it's going to feel really, really easy. So there's some good points. I've set my 3-foot circle up. I've got 19 paces to the hole here, so I'm going to go down and hit some chips. Of course I'm going to try and get them in my 3-foot circle, but whenever we practice something with one hand, don't be so caught up by the result. We're trying to improve the motion here, and ultimately we're trying to improve the way you do it with two hands. So let me go ahead, line up, set the club in position. Now as I take the club back, I'm going to turn that left shoulder and just help it through with the legs. I don't want it to be a whole upper half of the body movement. We turn it back and let the legs release through. Let's see how we go. Turn back, through. Got that going on a really good line. Next one. As I say, don't be too concerned about the result. Think about the motion, get the weight 80% on that left-hand side. Hear that strike. If you can get that noise with just one hand, your two-handed chipping will really come on. So that's it, folks. That's the countdown from 5 to 2. I'm afraid you're going to have to come back and join me next time if you want to see video number 1. Don't miss it. It's a beauty.